Zelete, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. West Africa stands on the edge of a massive geopolitical shift. Reports and local political development suggest that President Faure Gnassingbé of Togo may be quietly planning to join the Alliance of Sahel States known as the AES. If Togo takes this step, it will not just be another regional membership announcement. It could completely shake the foundations of ECOWAS and rewrite the economic and security map of West Africa. To understand why this matters, we must look at what joining the AES actually means, why Togo needs the Sahel states, and why ECOWAS is failing to hold the region together. Joining the Alliance of Sahel States is not a standard diplomatic decision. It represents a fundamental break from the established regional order. First, joining the AES means rebelling against the global financial system that has held back African economic independence for decades. Most leaders acknowledge the system impedes local development, but very few dare to challenge it due to fear of financial isolation. Second, the AES force is a shift towards strong economic nationalism. Member states prioritize local control of national resources. However, this nationalist path often alienates Western partners, cutting off easy access to foreign loans, grants, and direct foreign investment. Third, the AES takes an uncompromising stand on security. Instead of relying on foreign negotiations or external security agreements, AES nations commit to fighting terrorism directly. These three principles led Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso to break away from ECOWAS. They chose sovereignty and self-reliance over regional conformity. Togo is watching this shift closely. The government in Lomé is actively flirting with the idea of joining the AES for key economic and strategic reasons. Togo is a coastal nation, flirting with the idea of joining the AES for key economic and strategic reasons. Togo is a coastal nation, but its economic heartbeat depends heavily on the landlocked countries of the Sahel. The port of Lomé has become the most critical maritime gateway for the AES bloc, handling shipments that pass through Burkina Faso and onward into Niger and Mali. In 2022, these three nations accounted for more than 92% of the transit traffic moving through Togo's port. Economic survival forces Togo to maintain strong ties with its northern neighbors. Over the past 4 years, President Gnassingbé has consistently deepened cooperation with Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger across trade, security, and infrastructure. Togo's Foreign Minister, Robert Dozie, has openly stated that joining the AES is not impossible. Furthermore, Togo's new Sahel strategy explicitly aims to position the country as the vital bridge between the Sahel and the Gulf of Guinea. Local Togolese political analysts believe an official announcement could come at any time, following recent constitutional challenges that allow President Gnassingbé to remain in power indefinitely. He possesses total authority to execute such a major foreign pivot. This brings up a critical legal and political question. Can a West African state hold membership in both ECOWAS and AES simultaneously? Under written international law, there is no explicit rule preventing dual membership. However, reality dictates otherwise. The AES was created as a direct replacement for ECOWAS, not as a subsidiary bloc inside it. The founding members of the AES formed the alliance specifically because they view ECOWAS as compromised, ineffective, and controlled by foreign powers. While ECOWAS rules might technically allow double membership, the AES will not tolerate it. The AES operates under clear boundaries to fully join the alliance, a nation must cut institutional ties with ECOWAS as a governing body, even if it maintains bilateral trade with individual member states. Togo's potential exit highlights a much deeper problem. ECOWAS is increasingly losing its economic and political relevance to everyday West Africans. ECOWAS was originally designed to create a unified, competitive industrial market for regional trade, but a shared trade bloc offers little value to nations that produce few finished goods and rely heavily on foreign imports. When you examine the top trading partners of West African nations like Ghana, regional neighbors really make the top list. Countries in the region conduct far more trade with China, Switzerland, the United States, India, EU than with their immediate ECOWAS neighbors. The AES nations have already proved a key point. They continue to trade with neighboring coastal states out of practical necessity, proving that former ECOWAS membership is not required for economic survival. At the same time, regional integration policies have introduced serious challenges. Free movement policies under ECOWAS make it difficult for member states to properly screen across borders, raising internal security concerns at a time when regional stability is extremely fragile. The political goodwill that sustained ECOWAS decades ago has faded into institutional stagnation. If Togo officially joins the AES, it will be a decisive wake-up call for West Africa. A coastal nation linking its economic future directly to the Sahel Alliance will prove that the AES is expanding from a landlocked security coalition into a major economic bloc. It will force ECOWAS to address its internal failure or risk complete fragmentation. Regardless of political opinions on Togo's domestic leadership, a Togo AES integration represents a major geopolitical shift. It changes old power structures and forces every country in West Africa to rethink where its true strategic interests lie. Togo is still contemplating as to whether to leave ECOWAS or to continue to be a member of ECOWAS. And during the inauguration of the AES Parliament, we saw that they invited Togo's foreign minister. And this man has always been pushing for a united Africa and support for AES. He was the same person, Robert, telling the whole world that they are considering joining the AES alliance. And when you look at what they are doing, they are the only nation that is preaching for a unified solution and support for the AES, especially when it comes to these their TT activities. The recent speech made by Fonya Sungbe Yadama told ECOWAS leaders what we are seeing happening in the Sahel in Mali, and we are just making it look as if it is their problem. It is for all of us. If Mali succeeds in kicking them out, if we do not unite, the next fire will be at your doorstep. So it's better for us as Africans to unite and fight against the TT than for us to be folding our arms in the name of my country is not part of it. What is Togo planning next? And who will be the next AES member? Will it be Togo? We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Togo.